Sorry. Hey, I'm David Allen South. You may or you may not remember me. You may or may not recognize me. I'm going to keep this quick. I just wanted you to know that we have a fact-based faith. It's not like we're running around saying things that aren't true. It's not like we're running around trying to con people into what we believe because we strongly feel and are passionate about it. No. Let's go to history. If you look at Josephus, book 11 of the Antiquities of the Hebrews, chapter 8, paragraph 4 and 5 and 6, you'll see the historical account recorded by the Greeks who were there. Now, Alexander the Great had conquered. He went through Izus. He came all the way down through. He conquered Tyre, as predicted in Isaiah and Ezekiel. Now, when he came through there, he conquered Syria, Lebanon, that whole region there, went straight down and put the kibosh to Gaza. He sent a letter to Jerusalem, to the high priest, and said, look, you can send your tithes and offerings to the monarch of Macedonia. That's me, I'm Alex. I'm going to kick Darius's butt. Well, the high priest said in a letter, well, thank you very much, but we're not allowed to fight against Darius as long as he's in the land of the living. They made an oath. The father said that we are to pray for those above us. So that pissed Alexander off really tremendously. So instead of going directly east, he went back to Jerusalem. He was going to pretty much teach them and the whole world a lesson of who you keep your oaths to. Okay, so the high priest, they prayed about it. He called a solemn assembly. Okay, they got ready. The father said, go out as if it's a high holy day. Meet Alexander the Great. So when Alexander the Great comes over a part of the hill called a prospect, giving you the opportunity to see the view of the city and of the valley. And Alexander the Great, he sees the procession of the priests and the high priest there with the father's name on the mitre. And all of a sudden that rage melted. When he saw the father's name, he adored the name. The father's name was adored by this monarch who was coming to annihilate them. They ended up allowing a conversation, and the people that were with Alexander wondered why he was allowing them to get so close to him. And he told them he had seen in a vision someone dressed very much like this individual saying, come on over. And so when he saw the high priest and the name, he had realized that this is of a divine origin. He ended up going into the city. They spent a couple of days, made sacrifices. They showed him Daniel chapter 8. That clearly states Macedonia conquers Medo-Persia. And guess who he was just made the top ruler? His dad, Philip, died. Guess what that means? The prince becomes? Yes. So there we have it. Now, in the account, he then goes and conquers Darius. Well, we know that through history books. Then we see that all of a sudden the Septuagint was conscripted. And in the libraries around Alexander's kingdom, he put the Hebrew scriptures. He didn't do this for his own mythology. He didn't do it for the limericks of the day. He didn't even do it for the potty humor on the stall walls. No. So he personally experienced the reality and the factuality of the Father telling us before things happen what's going to happen. And this is so that we will know that he is the Almighty, the ever-present Yahuwah. All right. Josephus Antiquities, book 11, chapter 8, paragraph 4, 5, and 6. History gives us the ability to verify that the Father documents and tells us the end from the very beginning. Now, on top of that, later on I'll tell you about how Jericho had been excavated and they found out it was just like the Hebrew scriptures said. Not only that, the house of David and King Hezekiah and several other people in Isaiah, and we know Daniel has more references because of so many different kingdoms because he served as a magistrate. So there's a lot of documentation that we have. But when I was young, I was told there was not a single fact that corroborated what was in the Hebrew scriptures. And what we're going to find out in our study here in the future, and as we have seen right here, that wasn't true. And I'm going to tell you why, how, where, and when the overall pervasive mentality of we were created was crushed by the we evolved group. That's coming up later. You know who loves you.